Okay, we are picking up on Lamed Vav Amud Aleph. We are, about 2/3 of the way down by the two dots. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. So the Gemara says, Amar Rav Yehuda. Okay, so we've been talking right now. The Gemara just introduced the concept of this caper bush and what brachos you're supposed to make on it. So now the Gemara is going to go into a couple of different halachos regarding the caper bush and the parts of the caper bush. Which I went online because I don't know what a caper bush is. So I went online to look, and there's pictures which made it much clearer. So I meant to print it out, and I just didn't do that.
What top are we?
Lamed Vav Amud Aleph.
I must have had my thing in the wrong place.
Lamed Vav Amud Aleph. Okay. So Gemara. Okay. So we're by the two dots. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Slav shel arla b'chutz la'aretz. If you have this caper bush, which is arla in outside of Eretz Yisrael, the halacha is that arla in Eretz Yisrael is also for 3 years. You're not able to get any hana from it. That's when you are in Eretz Yisrael. But if you are outside of Eretz Yisrael, if let's say you are in America, then there's no problem with arla. So the Gemara says that slav shel arla b'chutz la'aretz. If you have this caper bush of arla and chutz la'aretz, zorik esav yonos v'ochel. I misspoke. There's a problem of arla outside of Eretz Yisrael, but we're going to see what it means. Zorik esav yonos v'ochel es ha-kafrisin. You throw away the berries because the berries is the part that's going to be usser. So that's the part that you're not allowed to eat. So even if you're outside of Eretz Yisrael, you take those berries, you throw them away, and then you're able to eat the husks. You're able to eat the shells that are around the caper bush. So the caper bush, the way that it works, I believe you have leaves. You have you have a growth that's on the leaves, which is some sort of fruit, which is edible. Then you have the avyonim, which there's a couple of different names that it gives. That's the caper berry, and then you have a shell that is outside the berry. So there's 4 parts to the caper bush. So right now we said, Rav Yehuda says that the tzlaf of arla outside of Eretz Yisrael, you were able to eat. You were able to eat the husks, but you were not able to eat the berries. The berries you're going to throw them away. So Gemara says, L'meimra de avyonos peri v'kafrisin lav peri. Does that mean that the berries are considered fruit and that the husks are not considered a fruit? Because the berries you're not allowed to eat because it's our law, so you have to throw that out. But the husks you are able to eat because it's not considered a fruit. So we're going to show otherwise. Reminu al minei nitzpa. If you have different types, we're talking about the bracha that you're supposed to make on different types of capers. So al ha'olim v'al ha'tamaros, if you have on the leaves, and on these, again, on this date growth that's on the leaves, if you have those, Omer bari pri adam, you make a bari pri adam on it. V'al ha'avyonos v'al ha'kafrisin, Omer bari pri eitz. But if you have the berries or the husks, you make a bari pri eitz. So you see from this brisa, you see that the husks has the same halacha as the berry. So why are you allowed to? Why is it that you're allowed to eat the husks outside of Eretz Yisrael when it's our law, and the berries you have to throw away? You shouldn't be able to eat the husks either. So Gemara says, "Hu damer Rebbe Kiva." He holds like Rebbe Kiva. The Tanam we learned in the Mishnah. Rebbe Eliezer Omer, Slaf misaser tamaros v'avyinos v'kafrisin. If you have the caper bush, you have to give meiser on these dates that are on the leaves, and on the berries and on the husks. Rebbe Kiva Omer, and Rebbe Kiva says, you only have to give meiser on the berries themselves. So you see that Rebbe Kiva holds that in the caper family, if I'm saying that right, in the caper family, there is berries, which are considered the fruit. Nothing else is considered fruit, and therefore you're able to, you can eat the husks if you're outside of Eretz Yisrael and it's our law. Because the berry alone is considered to be the fruit, the husk is not considered to be fruit, so therefore we say that it must be holding like Rebbe Kiva. The Rebbe Kiva holds that you're able to eat it. So Gemara says, "V'nei halacha Rebbe Kiva." So why do we have to go through this whole convoluted method? Sorry guys, there was the Omni Mariv, so we moved in here. No, so I'll wait a second while you slowly saunter up to your seats.
You didn't do the right thing, but it's fine.
Yeah, my whole life I've been told I'm not doing the right thing. We are Lamed Vav Amud Aleph. We are I don't know. Count the lines out. We're I could see. Should I start it from the two dots? I'll start it from the two dots. Yeah, because everyone's coming in. I'll start it from the two dots. For those listening to the recording, those listening to the recording, I'm sorry. It sure did. It's not that big. It's not that big of a building. It's not a huge building. So they went next door to the construction area. They were in the pit of the mikvah. That's where they're starting. No, I don't. But I did mention Rabbi Silver, and he says I didn't think we were up to. Okay, we're going to start again from the two dots. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. For the people that were here from the start of this year, you already know this, so you could do something else in the meantime. So Gemara says, I'm Rabbi Yehuda Marav. We're talking about the caper family. I'm Rabbi Yehuda Marav. If you have the caper bush that is arla outside of Eretz Yisrael, which again in Eretz Yisrael arla is also for 3 years, you're not able to do anything with it. Outside of Eretz Yisrael, you are able to. We say that you're not able to eat the berry itself, not able to eat the caper berry, but you are able to eat the husk. So the Gemara says, "L'meimra davyonos peri v'karfis lav peri." From this, it's mashma. It seems to be that you're saying that the berries are considered to be the fruit, but the husks are not considered to be the fruit. Reminu, and we're gonna show that there's a contradiction because there's a brisa that says amine nitzba, that when you're dealing with fruits from the caper family, ala alim v'ala tamaros, if you have again, there's leaves, there's these date berries, there's the berry itself, the caper berry, and there's the husks of them. So almine nitzba ala alim v'ala tamaros, if you have the leaves or you have these dates that grow on the leaves, Omer Bari Pri Adama, that's the bracha you make, and they make Adama. V'alav Yonis, V'alav Kafrisin, if you have the berries or the husks, Omer Bari Pri, you make a Bari Pri, which seems to indicate that the berry and the husks are both considered to be Bari Pri, are both considered to be fruits. If that's the case, why did Rabbi Yehuda say that when you're an arla outside of Eretz Yisrael, again, we're not talking about in Eretz Yisrael, we're talking about like here in America. If you're eating in America and you have a caper berry that you want to eat, so you're able to eat both the berry. You're not able to eat the berry. You have to throw that out because that's considered arla. But you are able to eat the husk. So the question is, why are you able to eat the husk? In that case, if you see that the husk is considered to be part of the fruit. So the Gemara answers, Hu Damar Rabbi Kiva, Ozak Rabbi Kiva, Detanan, Rabbi Yezer Omer, Slaf Misaser, Tamaros, Vavinos, Vakafrisin, that you have to give Meiser on the berries that grow on the leaves. You have to give Meiser on the berries, and you have to give Meiser on the husks. But Rabbi Kiva Omer, you only have to give Meiser on the berries themselves, because that is considered the fruit. So Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi Kiva that says that the berry is considered the fruit, the husk is not considered the fruit, and that's why you're able to eat the husks outside of Eretz Yisrael. So Gemara asks, why do we have to go through this whole exercise? Why don't we just say that halachas are Rabbi Kiva instead of saying Rabbi Yehuda holds like this price over here, where we ask the question, then we say that the reason why is because Rabbi Kiva holds that only the berry is considered to be the fruit. Why don't we just say that halachas are Rabbi Kiva, and that's why outside of Eretz Yisrael you're able to eat the husks of the caper bush because that's not considered to be the fruit. So Gemara says, "Iyamar halach Rabbi Kiva." If I would have said that, if I would have just said that, I would have thought that even Eretz Yisrael that you're able to eat the husks as well. Kamash Malan, that's not the case. And what's the reason why you're able to eat the husks outside of Eretz Yisrael if it's arla? The answer is because kol hamekel be'aretz halacha kamos b'chutz la'aretz avo be'eretz lo. That if you have, this is a general rule, that if you have a machlokas and whatever the halacha is in Eretz Yisrael, and let's go right now with this about the caper bush. That if you have a question whether or not you're able to eat the husks or not, if the husks are considered to be the fruit, so Rabbi Kiva holds that only the berries are considered to be the fruit. So he is the most makel out of anyone else, because everyone else discusses it and says that the husks are considered to be the fruit, or other parts are considered to be the fruit. So Rabbi Kiva says that only one of the 4 elements in the caper bush are considered to be a fruit. So that means that he's the most makel. If you have a machlokus that's going on, and you're not sure if you're not sure what the halacha is, the most lenient halacha that we have, even if we don't hold like it in Eretz Yisrael, but that's how you can paskin outside of Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, that's why the brisa before said that if a person's eating from a caper, he has to throw away the berries, but he can eat the husks because Rebbe Kiva holds that that's mutter. We wouldn't hold like that in Eretz Yisrael, but there's this lenient opinion, so therefore we hold like that outside of Eretz Yisrael. So Gemara asks now a different question. V'neima halacha Rebbe Kiva b'chutz la'aretz. So why don't we just say the halacha is Rebbe Kiva and chutz la'aretz? The chol hamekel b'eretz halacha kamos b'chutz la'aretz. For this very reason that whenever you have a machlokas going on, you can rely on the lenient opinion when you are outside of Eretz Yisrael. So Gemara answers, Iyamar hachi. If I would have said that, hava mina hani mili gabi meiser ilan. That's only talking about when you're talking about meiser for the trees. The Eretz Gufim Midrabanim, because in Eretz Yisrael, Meiser of the trees is in itself only Drabanim. Why? Because Midoraisa, the only 3 things that you have to give Meiser on are on wheat, grains, and olives. Nothing else Doraisa do you have to give Meiser on. So therefore, we would have thought that the halachos like them only when it comes to the trees. Gabi Arla de Eretz Midoraisa, but since when it comes to Arla of Eretz Yisrael, which is Doraisa, so I would have thought Ema b'chutz la'aretz nami nigzor. I would have thought that also in chutz la'aretz, because we're dealing with Arla, which is Doraisa. Again, with let's say these berries that would be Doraisa, the halacha would be that we're also going to be gozer and decree that you're not able to eat from them even when you're in the chutz la'aretz. Kamash Malan. So therefore, we said the halacha is like Rabbi Kiva in this situation to teach us that the reason why you're allowed to eat from it is because whenever you have a lenient opinion, you're able to rely on it when you are outside of Eretz Yisrael, and not because we said, and not for the other reason that we mentioned above. Okay. So the Gemara is going to say a little story now that ties into this. Ravina Ashkechei Lamar Bar Ravashi, the Kazarak Avinos v'Ka'achal Kafrisin. Ravina saw Mar Bar Ravashi, who was eating he was outside of Eretz Yisrael. He was throwing away the berries and he was eating the husks, like we just discussed that you were able to do. So Amar Lei said to him, "My daitach, what's the reason why you're able to? Why is it that you're eating the husks? Rabbi Kiva the Mekel, is it not because you hold like Rabbi Kiva, who says that you're able to eat the husks when you're outside of Eretz Yisrael?" So where it says, "11 mark of Beishamai demiklit fei." So why are you going like Why are you going like Rabbi Kiva and you're eating the husks? There's an even more lenient. Okay, remember that when you have a machlokas and you have a lenient opinion, even if we don't hold like them, you can rely on it. So he's going to say, "I'm going to introduce you now to someone else's shita that's going to show that's even more lenient than Rabbi Kiva. That's going to be Beishamai." That what did he say? The Tanam we learned, Slaf, when you have a caper bush, Beishamai Omrim, Kilayim Bekarem, they say that that is considered Kilayim Bekarem, that you're not able to mix it together with grapes. Beis Hillel Omrim, Beis Hillel, and again, that's because they hold that it's a vegetable. So if you hold it's a tree, there's no problem of Kilayim, because a Kilayim is only when you have two species together. If you have a tree with the vegetable, that's not gonna be a problem. So Beis Shammai says that it's Kilayim B'Karim, that this caper is considered to be Kilayim, and you're not able to print it in a vineyard. Beis Hillel Omrim ain't Kilayim B'Karim, that it's not Kilayim B'Karim, and because they consider it to be a tree. Why? Because in the sense that because it's perennial, because it keeps coming back, and if you take it, you'd be destroying it. So Elu ve'elu modim shechai ba'arla, and each one, Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, hold that the caper bush is you're going to be that it's under the guise of arla, that you're not able to get any benefit from it for 3 years. So I'm going to ask a question. And we haven't gotten yet to the point about Beis Shammai yet, but Hagufa Kasha. So there's a contradiction here. Amrit Slaf Beis Shammai Omrim Kilayim B'Karim. You said that regarding the caper, Beis Shammai holds that it's Kilayim B'Karim, that it's considered to be like, which indicates that it's like a vegetable, because they say you're not able to plant it with Kilayim, which means that it's like a vegetable. Alma min Yeraku, so which means that it's a vegetable. V'hadar Tanya, and then you learned Elu ve'elu modim shechai b'arla, that each of them agree that the caper bush is subject to the laws of Arla, which would indicate Alma min Ilanhu, which indicates it's a tree. So what is it? Is it a vegetable or is it a tree? So the Gemara says that's not a problem. Holocaust, that's not a question. Beis Shammai Sfukim Misafkalu, they weren't sure. And they weren't sure, is it a vegetable? They weren't sure if it's a tree. So therefore they said in both situations we're going to be machmir. When it comes to doing kilayim b'karem, they said that you're not able to do it, because they said we're afraid that it's a vegetable. And when it comes to our law, they said they're also going to be machmir. They say we're not sure if it's a vegetable or a tree, so we're going to be machmir and say that it's like a tree, and therefore you're not able to get any benefit from it for 3 years. But in the meantime, Mikal Makom, the Beis Shammai Havile Safek Arla, according to Beis Shammai, the caper berry is only a Safek Arla now, right? Because again, Beis Shammai is not sure what it is. So Beis Shammai holds that it's a questionable Arla. And we're going to see now, we're going to learn a mission that says that when you have questionable Arla and it's outside of Eretz Yisrael, anything goes, basically. We're going to see what that is now. Uchnan, Safek Arla, if you have something that's a questionable Arla, Eretz Yisrael Asur, so if it's in Eretz Yisrael, you're not able to eat from it. You have to treat it like Arla. Uvesuria Mutter, and in Syria, which is a land that David HaMelech conquered, and so it had some parts of holiness to it. So if it's over there, then you're able to eat from it. V'chutz haaretz yored, and the chutz haaretz you're able to go down to the land lokeach, and you're able to buy. If you have a person in chutz haaretz that you suspect is not keeping the laws of our law, you see that he has an orchard and the trees are 2.5 years old, and he also has trees that are 3 years old. So you don't know. You don't think that this guy is keeping our law. But the halacha is that when it comes to Safek Arla in outside of Eretz Yisrael, you're able to go down to the buyer, and you're able to buy from him. You're able to say to him, "Hey, I want you to sell me, this stuff right over here." Uvilvachul, you're okay, but you can't watch him. You can't go kind of like turn your head away. So you can make an assumption that he's picking the from the trees that are not Arla anymore, and not from the ones that are still under Arla. So in the meantime, so he said to him, "So why are you going like Rebbe Kiva, and you're throwing away the berries, and you're eating the husks, because that's a lenient opinion. According to Beis Shammai, the whole thing is going to be mutter for you, because it's a suffix arla, and you can eat. You should be able to eat even the you should even be able to eat the berries outside of when you're outside of Eretz Yisrael." So Gemara answers, Rebbe Kiva, b'makom Rebbe Lazar, Avdina Kavasi. When you have an argument between Rebbe Kiva and Rebbe Lazar, which we discussed before, so then you could say, we may go like one opinion, we may go like another opinion. But Beis Shammai, b'makom Beis Hillel ain't a Mishnah. But when you have an argument between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, there's nothing to talk about. You don't even discuss it. Like, it's a non-starter to begin with. So we're not recognizing the opinion of Beis Shammai at all. And I just heard that a reason why, because Beis Shammai they're not slouches. Beis Shammai were, they were big. And some say that I think that after Mashiach comes, that perhaps that the halachas that we've been doing like Beis Hillel, we're going to switch to Beis Shammai, because they seem to have more logic in what they were saying. But I saw that a couple of reasons why we don't hold like Beis Shammai. It's like it's a non-starter. One is because Beis Shammai made up a large segment of the population, and if you would start lending credibility to their opinions when they were arguing with Beis Hillel, that would have led to splintering in the Bnei Yisrael, and you would have too many people that are falling on one side of the coin, too many people that are falling on the other side of the coin, and that's not good to start with. So therefore, we say when you have Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel going against each other, it's a non-starter. You're not even supposed to do it. The other reason I saw is because when Beis Shammai, there was a bas kol that came out and said that when there's Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, the halach is like Beis Hillel. So when you have a bas kol, even though we don't paskin on a bas kol, but there were other reasons why we were following Beis Hillel. So when you have a situation like that, then again, we're going to say that when you have something between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, ain't a Mishnah, we don't discuss it at all. So that's why Rabbi Yehuda went with Rabbi Kiva, and he said that you are able to eat the husks, but not the berries, and he didn't go like Beis Shammai that said you would have been able to eat everything. Okay, we will stop here.
So what were you saying about split?